This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Stand by for the next program.
Good morning and welcome to the newspaper analysis session on the Morning Drive, Providence Television International. My name is Ugwebo Ikekwa, and with me to analyze the papers this morning, I have the Chief Executive Officer, Providence Television International, Dr. Emmanuel Egariwa. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. A very happy weekend to all our viewers. I hope that the rains in this part of the country have subsided considerably. Yeah.
All right, we'll move to a very topical issue, starting with the Saturday Telegraph, where we have on the front page, ethnic nationalities disagree on return to regionalism. Writers to that effect were in support of federalism. Regionalism needs to be debated. This is coming from Afenifere. And another writer to that effect, we support regionalism as an expression of true federalism. This is coming from the Ohaneze group. Yes,
beautiful submissions by those parties, Afenifere and Indigbo. And I agree with both of them. Well, first of all, we have to ensure, excuse me, we have to ensure that, yes, the issue is well debated. That's part of democracy, really. You throw it open because it's the people's future, the way they want to be governed, the way they want the country to be ruled, right? So they are right. I mean, Afenifere is right. Indigbo is also right, because they are talking of true federalism, for example. And yes, what's wrong with that? Because as I've said before in this program, we had more meaningful development when we had regional arrangements in this country.
Okay.
Yes, all those vestiges of success and glory and honor happened during the First Republic, for instance, and we're still talking about them. And incidentally, and you won't believe this, that was when we had true patriots during that period of our national life. And I can go on to reel out the names, but that may elongate this program. However, I want to say that, yes, regionalism, it's quite commendable if we're able to achieve it. It is, and if we match it up with parliamentary arrangement, it will be less expensive. I've often said that. It will be less expensive and less cumbersome. The presidential system is alien to us. We copied it, hook, line, and sinker from the United States. The United States is a rich country. They can afford all of that. But even at that, I mean, look at the issue of legislature. Here it is full-time. In the United States, it's part-time.
Exactly.
Okay? And their system is self-regulatory because they have very powerful institutions. In this country, we have powerful individuals, not powerful institutions. Okay? So we must look at all of these parameters. And I believe that there's nothing wrong with that. If we go back, I mean, as I've often said, if you go forward and the road is blocked, you can go backwards and take another route, okay, to your destination. I believe very much in trying out the regional kind of government. Unfortunately, even while we're talking about this, some people are talking about many more states.
Yes.
Some states we have now really do not have the capacity to survive on their own. Okay. They say together we are in large numbers, the more we can pull together. Okay. So, and a lot of states now, they have common affinity. I'll give you a typical example. In the Southwest, for instance, in the Yoruba nation, they have a common affinity. They have a common ancestry. In Edo and Delta, yes, we have the affinity. We have always been brothers, by the way. So going back to the former region, say Midwest, for example, will do us more good than harm. Yeah, because we've always been brothers, and things worked out perfectly in those days. All right. So, but now, I mean, if for instance, Edo State now wants to go on its own, we have a common ancestry. Yes, everybody points to Benin as common ancestry. So there's no harm at all. There's no harm, and you'll be surprised that regionalism will elicit more progress in terms of healthy competition.
Okay.
Yes, right now 36 or maybe 37 states. Where are we? Where are we? Some states have been impoverished right, unduly. And it's a pity that we're still relying on oil as the main source of our revenue. It has made some states rather lazy.
Okay.
Yes, because at the end of the month, they go cap in hand to Abuja. It will even weaken the center, because we are talking about stronger units and a weak center, right? Right now, center is so huge. It's so huge that the president of Nigeria is usually referred to as the most powerful president in the whole world, okay? And people have said that. They know what they are talking about. So if we go the regional way, I think that will be much better for us.
All right. We'll look at a trending issue. Presently, Rivers State, there is a local government election actually going on the front page of the Matrix. However, let us look at the story that we have there. Rivers local government election, it's D-Day. Nigerians international community should hold APC, Inspector General of Police, for any breakdown of law and order. This is coming from the PDP. We'll tie this same story to the Liberty newspapers. Liberty newspapers, we will not provide security during local government elections. This is coming from the police, and Fubara is saying that other agencies will do the job.
Well, it's a very amusing situation in Rivers State. There are two combatants, the governor and the immediate past governor. But it's the people. This is the thing about leadership. It is the people. One is saying, yes, I'm the chief executive, I want to consolidate in power. The other one is saying, no, I brought you up. So you must continue to play along with me. I mean, it's a very funny situation, quite funny, really. Why can't we let go of this kind of intrigues? It doesn't help the people. But I must report that the election is going on as we speak to you.
Exactly.
At this time. But unfortunately, we understand that the secretariat of the APC has been touched.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a bomb or something, but it's been touched. And there are factions of APC in Rivers. Okay? So, but at the end of the day, what are they struggling for? They hold onto power. That's what all this struggle is all about.
Exactly.
Yes, and people are saying, please, somebody in Abuja, let the governor breathe. And the judiciary too has been coming up with all kinds of rulings, right, left, and center. So, but I hope that the police high command will do the right thing, obey court orders, and let it be shown that we have a police force that is law-abiding. All right, so that's where we are. Rivers State is the hub of this country in terms of production of oil. If anything happens in Rivers, the whole country is involved. And that's why people are quite wary that we must be very careful the way we go about it.
Exactly.
At this point in time, when the local government election is taking place, the president is out of the country. Right. So, I don't know, maybe for tactical reasons. But however, this is just a local government election.
Yes.
It's not state. It's local government election, the third tier of government, and all hell is being let loose. So it means that we don't have true leaders in the true sense of the word. And people like to cling on to power in and out of government. That's what is happening in Rivers. And I believe that common sense should prevail.
Exactly. To confirm that story as regards the tussle, we'll go down to the Saturday Times, the front page of the Saturday Times, where it still says on the same issue, local government polls sparks fear of breakdown of law and order in Port Harcourt. Fubara Spitfire vows to fight IGP Wike over interference.
This is what we are saying. I mean, for goodness sake, Fubara is the chief executive. He's also the chief security officer.
Yes.
I mean, whether we like it or not, he was voted in, and is a sitting governor. So if somebody is in Abuja is trying to dictate the pace, he's on his own. All right? And that's what eminent people. By the way, I saw it somewhere this morning that Omeha, the former governor of the state, has led a group of elders of Rivers State to meet Fubara to also let him know that he has their support.
Okay.
That is important. A lot of eminent Nigerians, even though they are not citizens of Rivers State, they are not happy about what is happening in Rivers State. They are not. Why do we always have former governors breathing down the necks of incumbent governors. It doesn't augur well for our democracy. And this brings me to the issue of the word they use loosely, godfatherism.
Exactly.
Once you have left the office, you have left the office. You have left the office. So what's your business with all sorts of things that people do these days? You want to still believe, and that's why people say that some godfathers, they want to have a third term by default. Okay. And the man sitting, look, let me tell you, when I was the chief press secretary here, you know, Governor Egun said one day, and that thing is still very much in my memory, after the court case, you know, he won at the Court of Appeal, and he now sat down one day. He was probably oblivious of my presence in the office. I stood there, but I think he didn't quite know that I was there with him. He was speaking aloud. He may have known, yes, I don't know, but he was speaking aloud. He said, is this the table that they are struggling for? You know, he brought it down to that level. And I said to myself, yes, it is the table, this is the chair. You know, what's the occupier of the chair will come and go. Various occupiers. In this state, for instance, we have had people.
Exactly.
Yes, they'll come and go. So it's not eternal. Yes. Only this morning, I went through something on the social media. Remember Mobutu Sese Seko, he was the president of Zaire.
Exactly.
You know, and he was building all kinds of mansions. Yes. All kinds of mansions, high-profile mansions. Some of them were unearthly. You could not imagine that those structures were on this earth. But he built them, and at the end, he died in misery. Exactly. Okay? So, but the lesson in that is, and it's also spiritual, vanity upon vanity. All is vanity. Our leaders must recognize that. Even power is transient, by the way. Power is transient. It comes easy, it goes easy. Come easy, go easy. That's the popular saying that everybody's used to. People forget that power is transient. I mean, you are doing all sorts of things, whereas it's the same 6 feet everybody is going to. People are even talking about 2027. Some do not even know if they will survive 2025. You're already thinking of 2027. I mean, that's the emptiness in our leadership in this part of the world. African leaders, they forget. Yes, that you cannot judge for God. God is the owner of all things. He's the owner of life. No, you cannot dictate to him.
Exactly.
Yes. I believe people will say, Osanyade. It's a very popular name. Yes. God owns tomorrow. Yes. But we take that for granted.
Well, we'll move down. This actually even links to the religious angle and the religious story that we have here. Trending presently, not just on social media, but quite everywhere. Pastor Adeboye apologizes for saying non-tithe prayers won't make heaven. This is on the front page of the Matrix newspaper. Like I said, quite a trending issue, and it has thrown up quite a religious rift between those who attend his church and those who do not attend his church. Well, sir, what is your take on this?
I think God is working out something. Yes. If you don't know it, I'll tell you. God is working out something to expose those people who are not saying things in consonance with the will of God. In consonance. And I've often said it. I've told a lot of my friends, some of them are professors, and they agree with me absolutely. And I said to them, look, God is going to expose them one by one, particularly those who take God for granted. You're asking somebody who has not eaten for 3 days or for 2 days, you're asking him to pay tithe. And you are telling the same person, oh, if you don't pay tithe, you are not going to heaven. I mean, what kind of hypocrisy is that? And yet, let me tell you this. One day we are going to have a program on this because it pains me to my marrow. The church in Nigeria should be a welfareist church. A welfareist church. And what do I mean by that? You must take care of people within your fold and help them. Those who cannot eat, give them food. Those who cannot have homes, give them shelter. If you have the capacity, look at what our church leaders are doing. Some of their members, they trek every Sunday or perhaps every day of the week. They go past them when they finish. They go past them in motorcades. I mean, this is not just absurd, it is outrageous. It's scandalous, to say the least. The church members, they are hungry, they have not eaten. or maybe a day or two. Then you have the temerity to go past them. Some of them in the most exotic cars you can think of.
Yeah.
And you think that God is just watching for nothing. Most of them, they will pay a price. I can tell you that. Because they are shortchanging the people. And that is it's not the will of God. It's not. Look at, I'm a Catholic, for instance. I'm not judging just because I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
But look at the way the Catholic Church does its things. Yes. You won't go about brandishing cars and all sorts of things. I told you, when the Archbishop of Benin came to bless this station, he came in a simple car.
Exactly.
With his driver and his PA. That was all. No fanfare, nothing. And he came quietly. After about 20 minutes or so, he left. Some others will have blocked the road. Yes. Fanfare. Emptiness. They will have blocked the road completely. And that is not the will of God. We are not following the precepts of our Lord Jesus Christ. We are not. Jesus Christ lived a very simple life. Totally unobtrusive. A very simple life. You could not even differentiate between him and his disciples.
Okay.
Because he looked like them. And yet, this was the King of Glory who had everything at his beck and call. When he was going on the last journey, he rode on a donkey, which he borrowed, by the way. So, he could easily have had a whole host of donkeys at his disposal. Now, our religious leaders, they go about with a horde of security people, arms carrying security people, to protect who? Was that the will of Christ? Is that the will of God himself, the Almighty Father? No. That's why, in this country, for instance, we are not even doing it to please God. That's the thing that pains me. If you do things to please God, yes, you'll be on safe waters. Look at now. Pastor Adeboye has apologized because he went on the trajectory of error. And the danger in it is, once a church leader goes in the way of error, he carries people along.
Very, very true.
Yes, it carries people along. That's why church leaders must be careful in their utterances. Because the people believe you. They believe you that, yes, you are a man of God. And once you say things that are not right, they follow you. And you lead them sometimes to perdition. Look at what is happening in the church, doing all kinds of rituals in the church of Christ. They're burying people in the altar and all. We see all these things in the church of Christ. So if Nigeria is going to survive, a lot is going to depend on our religious leaders. A lot. Some of them have compromised so much. They cannot say the truth. They cannot. I heard someone say the other day, was preaching, oh, no, please, God, come and help us. We are suffering. The people who are causing the suffering, have you spoken to them? Oh, God. And sometimes this also amazes me. Oh, God, please come and give us water. We need roads. Come and give us roads. It's not the duty of God to give you roads or water. People have been placed in the position of leadership to give you water, to give you roads, to give you hospitals. Hold them to account. God has put them there. So you must hold them to account. That's their duty. It's their responsibility. And look at the schools that churches build. They are the most expensive. Some of them, the most expensive. The children of poor people in those churches cannot access those schools. So what are we talking about?
Well, just like you rightly said, we're going to have quite a debate, not particularly on Adeboye apologizing, but on the lifestyle of our religious leaders, in quote. We'll move to the next story on the front page of the Saturday Times. Quite another worrying trend. Court remands man for allegedly raping his daughter. There is another story still on the front page of the Saturday Times that is quite related to this. Story of 71-year-old Pa Adiola jailed for life for raping his friend's granddaughter.
Well, that's it's more of a psychiatric ailment. It's in the realm of psychosis. Okay, psychiatric doctors will tell you a man sleeping with his daughter or granddaughter of a friend. That's insanity. In fact, it's the height of insanity. And people are driven to this because their mental structure is badly skewed. And most times they need help, but they don't seek help. That's what is happening. It's a pity though, and the court obviously will do its job. as it should be done, right? So, but such people the society has a duty to take them out because they can become a very bad influence to others who are within that realm. It's a very bad situation, and the law must take its course. Some of them even sleep with infants.
Yes.
2 years, 3 years.
Exactly. Pedophiles.
Yes, pedophile. And if it's happening somewhere else around the world, why must it happen here? No. We have a very strong culture. It's an abomination. You can't do that, right? If you are so much pressed, go to women of easy virtue. They are all over the place. You pay and do whatever you want to do, okay? But not with infants.
Exactly.
That's madness. Yes.
Well, we wouldn't dwell so much on that. Let us move down to another story. This is a human angle story now. On the front page of the Weekend Trust, despite health risks, laws, more Nigerians switch to charcoal firewood.
Even the firewood, I'll tell you, because I'm interested in the environment.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, my project work, my LLB in those days, was on environmental laws and its impact on the Nigerian ecosystem. We must protect the environment. If they descend on wood, we are descending on our forest resources.
Exactly.
That's what it means. We are descending on our forest resources. I mean, it's a pity, though, that in this country we don't know how to preserve our treasures. Some of those species you had in those days, mahogany, iroko, and all of that, they are gone. In fact, ironically, in this country, some species of wood, of trees, of plants, become extinct even before they are discovered. They become extinct even before they are discovered. We cannot take care of our environment. Our trees are going down. Now they cannot access gas. Gas is expensive. So they must descend on the forest resources, which in any case we are supposed to protect. Coal, I can understand. But even at that, none of this is cheap. None of this is cheap. So let us not go back to the Stone Ages, where people were using all kinds of things to cook and all of that. It's the function of poverty. Because gas is supposed to be the cheapest of the lot, and it's supposed to be the most convenient. Yes. First of all, no smoke.
Yes.
You put your pot on firewood, it gets blackened.
Exactly.
Charcoal, possibly the same thing. But gas is safe to a very, very large extent. But how many people can afford it in this country? And yet, we are an oil-producing country. There are residual products from oil and gas. Cooking gas is one of them.
Exactly.
Yes, residual products that we can get from this resource. So I think the government must take a look at it. But I also want to say that there must be room for government to encourage private individuals, to go into these businesses. Nigerians have the potential of creating wealth, yes, outside the realm of government. So this is one of them, and I believe that our forest resources must be protected. Okay. The resources must be well protected. You have tree fellers, illegal tree fellers. That's one. You don't have nurseries anymore. In those days, down at Pasakumba, we used to have nursery, for those very expensive species. Not expensive, really, exotic species. We don't have them anymore. We don't even have forest guards anymore. We used to have them in those days. They protect our forest resources. The ministries of Agric all around the country, what are they doing? The ministries of agriculture, what are they doing? The other day I heard that I can't remember exactly now, one ministry of, I don't know how far they've gone about, a ministry of cattle or whatever it is. What are the department, Ministry of Agriculture? Can't you take care of that? Yes, they also satisfy a particular segment of the society. So I believe quite strongly that the ministries of agriculture must do their jobs. One of them is to protect very exotic species, and we have them. We used to have them in this country. We used to have them. Very soon, we're going to be talking about all of this on the program, Environment and You, right? We're going to bring in experts to talk about it. We must protect, because you see, the environment can survive without man, but man cannot survive without the environment. The environment can go on and almost endlessly, yes, as ordained by God. But God has given us all of these things, but man is damaging them on a daily basis. On a daily basis. That is why in the Western countries, they're no longer talking about roads or water or whatever it is. Some of the things they talk about on the front burner, one of the things they usually talk about is climate change. Climate change. How do we turn all of these things for our own benefit? They are not talking about roads anymore. Here in this country, most parts of Africa, a president wants to come into office. Oh, I'll give you good roads. Oh, I'll give you water. I'll give you... As if that is not part of his responsibilities. But in the Western democracies, nobody is talking about that anymore. They've gone far beyond that. Yes, far, far beyond that. All they are talking about now is to preserve life. Abortion, for instance. They're talking about things that touch human life, the human existence, the environment, climate change, weather. How do we manage floods? How do we manage natural catastrophes? Those are the things they talk about. Have we ever seen in this country, for instance, a special amount is budgeted for floods? It's only recently after the dam collapse. Exactly. And yet we have organizations, we have establishments that are supposed to look after such things.
Always damage control.
Damage control. The other day, somewhere in Benin here, this is quite amusing. If our engine was going to put out fire somewhere, and the engine itself caught fire around the ring road area. It caught fire, and it gave us some comic relief. I said, what kind of situation is this? Sometimes you phone, the people will tell we are looking for water or some hydrants. Nothing is working.
Well. Talking about comic relief, it is not all the time that we should think of all the negative things that come out from the Nigerian situation. We'll go down to that should be on the Matrix newspapers. On the front page of the Matrix newspapers. That should be on the front page of Liberty newspapers. I just got carried away with the economic relief story that we'll be coming up with. We have House of Reps. Tinubu bows to pressure, confers GCON on Speaker Abbas.
Well, if you say comic relief, that probably would be an understatement. How serious are we in this country?
Exactly.
The presidency even said that it's historical, how do they term it? Historical error or whatever. Yes. It was neither here nor there. I mean, before you confess something, you must have gone through the rudiments properly. Exactly. And it makes people really laugh, come to think of it. The handlers of the president, what are they doing? What's their job? It's a simple job. Then you announce it. And then suddenly eyebrows are raised by members of the House.
It became a serious question.
It became a serious issue. In spite of the anguish that Nigerians are going through, it became an issue, a very big issue, And somebody said, rightly or wrongly, that if the president doesn't do it, his bills will not be passed in the House of Reps. So we are living in a country. I think we need this comic relief. We have had too many issues, hardline stories.
Exactly.
But we need something like. But it's not even a laughing matter. Come to think of it, that's the irony. Because you see, these national awards, many people have rejected them.
Yes.
Chinua Achebe, for instance, he rejected it. He said no, and that Nigeria was much better then. Should this even be a priority now? That's the question people are asking. Can't it be in abeyance for a while so that we can tackle more serious issues? And another question people are asking is the beneficiaries of these national awards, are they really totally worthy? Because national awards are given to eminent people. As I keep using that phrase, above board. There should be no question mark, and the whole country will applaud that, yes, this man deserves it. There are many people in this country, they may not be politicians. They may be relatively unknown, but we follow their track record. See that, yes. I mean, for instance, in sports, there are many sports people who have died.
Exactly.
and forgotten completely. Yes. How many posthumous awards have been given in this country? How many? Awards should not be only for the living. Yes. But it is better you give them awards while they are still alive. But how many of such people? Yes. And we know them. But just that we want to play to the gallery. I mean, look at what has happened now. Oh, no, CFR or CON or whatever is too small for the House of Reps.
Yes, that as long as the Senate President was giving the GC.
Exactly. So if the Senate President has, the Chief Justice has one, I too must have one. On the same pedestal.
Well,
so,
goes a long way to show the actual jobs that our representatives out there at the Senate. It shows their jobs, actually. Well, on this note, I want to say thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for the interview segment.